there, folks. It is Rob, and welcome back to the ABCs of Horror Challenge. Today, we are doing letter B. Now, really quick, if you don't know what the ABCs of Horror Challenge is, it's very simple. You go through the entire alphabet, A through Z, and you pick out a horror film, watch, and review it. Now, it has to be a horror film. It could be, a horror comedy, action horror, whatever. As long as it's a horror film, you're good. Number two, you have to go through the entire alphabet. So if you start with A, you have to pick a horror film that starts with the letter A. B, pick out a horror film that starts with the letter B, all the way to Z. And this is a challenge that has no time limit. You can go at your own pace. You can do however many you want in a month or a week or a day. It's all up to you. The real challenge is to see if you can get from A to Z. So, very simple challenge. I hope you guys participate. There are quite a few people who are participating now, so definitely go check out their channels. We got Joe the Horror Man, Jason Horrific Nightmares JM, Shannon, Kelly. Yeah. So if you want to join, please do so. So today, I picked out a horror film that starts with the letter B, and God, I tell you, I loved this film. So the film that I picked for the letter B is Bite. Now, some of you may have never heard of this film. I stumbled upon this film by accident. And what I mean is I was watching a bunch of horror trailers on YouTube, and this was recommended to me. So I watched the trailer and I was like, wow, this looks pretty awesome. It is a 2015 Canadian body horror film. Now, what exactly is a body horror film? Well, it's a subgenre of horror where it shows grotesque, violations of the human body, where it may manifest, mutations or, zombification, basically where the human body goes through some kind of transformation. And that's what this movie does really well. And it's kind of slow paced to where it builds up on that. But they do a fantastic job here, guys. I mean, this is my first watch on this. And I got to tell you, I loved every single minute of it. I really did. It was directed by Chad Archibald, who I think mainly did like television stuff. But it stars Elma Begovic. I think that's how you say it. But she was the main character here, which you see on the cover there. And wow, she was so good in this, guys. I'm not even kidding. She was great. A young woman is bitten by a waterborne insect while on vacation in Costa Rica. She's basically celebrating her bachelorette party with her friends. They go to this secluded place to go swimming. She gets bit, and they don't even show what bites her. It's basically under the water, but she gets bitten, and over the course of days, she starts to see the bite get infected and then get bigger, and things start happening to her. Basically, her body starts to transform slowly into, I guess, an insect. How I kind of compare this is to Devora. If you know who Devora is from Mortal Kombat, she's kind of a newer character, but she's like an insect fighter, half human, half insect. That's kind of how I compare her. They do such a good job with these practical effects. This is what they call a gross out movie, and it is. There are some scenes where it's gross. The main girl, Casey, which is seen right here on the cover, the makeup that they do on her, I mean, it's just so awesome in her transformation. A lot of people would compare it to The Fly. And I have to agree, where Jeff Goldblum kind of slowly transforms into The Fly, they kind of do that here. But it's not really science fiction. There's nothing really science fiction about this film, so that's the difference there. But when Goldblum slowly transforms into The Fly, you can see like his face changing and things like that. It's kind of like what's happening here to Casey. You can see her eyes changing. You can see her face changing. Her cuts get deeper and her bite gets bigger. Pus. There's stuff coming out of her mouth. Her fingernails are falling off. Her mouth starts to leak this gooey stuff. And you're like, what is that? But it's actually like acid. I was just really blown away by the grotesque nature of, the character. They did such a good job with that. It just seems so realistic. There's stuff going on with the characters, where the girl who's getting married can't really tell her soon-to-be husband what happened on the trip because there's, something that was recorded on video. She basically doesn't want to admit anything because she thinks he's going to get mad or leave her. But her friends, there's one friend who is kind of against her and there's one friend who's with her. And there is a lot of drama that happens in this movie, but I feel so bad for Casey because not only is she going through the drama and she tries to impress her soon-to-be husband's mom, because the mom is a real bitch in this, but not only that, but she's dealing with this bite, and this bite is affecting her health, and it's also affecting her as like a person. It's just, her appearance. She doesn't want to go out of her apartment because of the way she looks, and I feel so bad for her. She did such a good job. Now, the movie had a lot of mixed reviews, and a lot of people were grossed out. In fact, during the film festival, 2 people fainted. One girl was puking, and another hit his head on the stairs and stuff like that. They handed out barf bags to the audience. They were unprepared for how gruesome it was. And they're not wrong. I mean, yeah, it is a gross out film. So it's done so well, though, guys. This right here is my Scream Factory release, and you can see her right there, the transformation of Casey. She looks just like Devora from Mortal Kombat, I swear. But her transformation is really what shines in this movie. It is kind of a slow-paced transformation. It works its way up from a simple bite to a big gash. Then you start to see changes in her face and her body. So, yeah, it does a great job on building up to the third act, where shit starts to get real. All in all, guys, this is definitely worth a watch, and I definitely recommend this movie. And I believe it's only getting like a 50% or so on Rotten Tomatoes. They can go to hell. I don't really follow that anyway. This movie, in my opinion, if I was going to rate it out of 10, I'd definitely give it an 8. I think it deserves an 8. And yeah, it's just really, really fun. And like I said, gross out movie. But the effects, like I keep harping on the effects. The effects, I'm not joking here, guys. The effects are so good. They're top notch effects here. So if you have not seen Bite, check it out, please. It's a recommendation. And yeah, that was my pick for letter B of the ABCs of Horror Challenge. And like I said, check out other people who are also doing letter B. If you haven't seen any of the letter A's, definitely check those out. But I will see you guys next time on the ABCs of Horror Challenge, where I will pick out a movie that starts with the letter C. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.